appreciate it very much.
Fantastic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we have what we call Sales 1, 2, 3 with Gary Z, where we have one of our radio listeners write in a sales question or a challenge that they are facing, and I give them some tips on how to overcome that challenge. So this one was an email that came into me the other day, and I really like this one. It was actually from John, and he says, I did a cold call the other day, and the prospect I spoke to told me he was just completely fine, and he didn't need my service at all, and thanked me for calling, and that was pretty much it. What should I do when that happens? John, that's probably a response that I get more than any other when I'm cold calling. We call it the utopian response. Everything is great in my world. We're fine. We don't need you. Thanks for calling, and it's over. And before I was Sandler trained, I would say, okay, this guy doesn't need me. He's happy. And I would just move on to my next cold call on the list. But we really don't want to do that. There's a few things that we can do before that. First of all, let's figure out why they're doing this. They want us off the phone. They don't want to be sold to. So I like giving them what they want. You say, oh, geez, Charlie, it sounds like you've got everything buttoned down really well there. Congratulations to you on that. And thank you for being candid and telling me that. Knowing all this probably would make sense for me to close the file. And then Charlie will probably say, yes, please do. And now what's happened, you can almost hear him take a sigh of relief after that. He won. We're going to close the file. The sales, selling is over. So they relax a little bit at this point. And this is when we can say, great, I'll be happy to do that. I'll close that file. But before I do, I just have one question for you. And 99% of the time, John, they'll say, sure, no problem. Because remember, they don't feel like there's any more pressure at this point. And then you can have two things to do here. One is you could just simply say, Charlie, not everybody is in as good a situation as you are. And knowing that, would you know somebody else that could use our service or our product? Maybe a company, maybe a name of someone in that company. And it's possible you might get that referral. And by the way, we want those. They're a lot warmer than a cold call. So go for that. And always a default. Ask for a referral when things are going that way. Just get in the habit of that. Now, there's a second option that you can always do as well. And you can say, okay, so I've closed the file. Great. I'll be happy to do that. One more question for you. And then you can say, knowing that nobody is perfect, knowing that no company is perfect, tell me, is there one thing that your vendor could do right now that could be better? And there's one of two things he's going to say. One is like, no, there isn't. I'm 100% happy, which is probably kind of lying a little bit, but it's okay. We're not going to fight. Then you could just go back and go get your referral if that happens. Or they may say something here. Yeah, well, I guess there is one thing. They're just not returning my emails, for example, or my calls. And then we can say, yeah, that probably isn't a big deal, though, is it? And then you'll get your answer. Well, no, it is a big deal. Actually, it's kind of bothering me. So is that costing you business? What's going on there? And then they may tell you what's going on there. So now at this point, we know there's pain, that they're not 100% happy. And now all we got to do now is go for the appointment. Don't sell them. Go for the appointment and just simply say, gosh, knowing that typically when people tell me that, we pull out our calendars and we get an appointment. Why don't we do that? And then you got your appointment. So that's another option. But again, if you don't have the courage to do that, at least have the courage to ask for a referral. Thank you again, John, for that. We really appreciate you for asking that question, and I enjoyed answering it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to Simon Says Let's Talk Business 2.0 today. I am your host, Gary Zermuehlen, and until next time, good selling.